everyone, welcome to Super Grad, and I'm your English mentor Sana Jaffrey. So how are you doing? I hope many of the IPMAT 2025 aspirants are already into their preparation. And if you haven't started in a full-fledged way, here we are to help you. We are here to give you a gentle nudge. And not just that, a nudge that would make you way more efficient, way more strategic, and way more jugadu, as we say. Yes, I've come up with some nice jugad and some nice hacks, even for the VA section. So this is a series that we've come up with. Anil sir has already told you, right? And this is about hacks to solve IPMAT questions. So I'm sure you're wondering, क्या English में भी hacks होते हैं? Well, yes, tricks होते हैं, techniques होते हैं, and that is something that I will share with you today. So, of course, in this series, I have been given 4 sessions, and I'll try to do my best to give you those vital insights that when you are, not very clear of the way you should be pursuing or trying a question, what are those techniques and tricks that can actually help you in that process? In fact, there are some question types here and there, and I have cherry picked previous year questions. Okay, they are the questions where you sometimes don't need to read the entire question and you straight away get the answer. ऐसी भी hacks आज मैं आपके लिए लेके आई हूँ. All right, sometimes it's about the smarter approach for cracking questions and not the conventional or the typical approach. तो आज हम बहुत सारी ऐसी smart approach, कोई ना कोई tricks, कुछ ना कुछ ऐसे elimination methods लेके आए हैं आपके लिए. And if you master these, I'm sure you will benefit a lot. Okay, so let's get going. First thing, a very important question type in your IPMAT in the paper happens to be confusables or confusing words, right? तो उसको कैसे हम approach कर सकते हैं? What if I don't know a particular word? जो word दिया है उसका मतलब ही मुझे नहीं पता है. क्या फिर भी मैं कुछ कर सकती हूँ उसका? Yes, I can with this hack, this smart technique and approach. So let's discover this interesting and very, very amazing method. सबसे पहले you can see that, this is a question of this year. IPMAT Indore 2024, the most recent paper that we had. I have picked up a question from that and read questions carefully. Now here, I think you're already aware of this. A word has been used in 4 sentences, and you have to select that sentence which uses the word incorrectly or inappropriately. Now, here, the word that they are using again and again obviously is the word in question, and that is callous. Now, what do I do if I don't know the meaning of this word? Very simple. Such questions can be done with the odd one out approach. Very often this is going to be the best approach for cracking these questions. Okay, so karna kya hai? It is very simple, right? There are going to be 3 sentences that will use that word in a similar way, and there will be 1 sentence which will use it very differently, and that will look weird to you, that will look strange to you, and that is going to be the incorrect use. It's simple. So even if I don't know the word callous, I don't know the meaning of the word, say imagine I don't know it, I just have to read the sentences. अब English section में पढ़ना तो पड़ेगा. तुम्हें लग रहा है कि मैं पढ़ना ही ना पड़े, question ही बिना पढ़े answer निकालूं, तो that is not possible. I'm not here to tell you about blind guesses. That's a gamble. I'm here to tell you the strategies, the tricks, the hacks. Right? So hacks सिर्फ इतनी सी है कि हमको क्या करना है, चारों sentences पढ़ो और identify करो the contextual meaning. Try to understand कि क्या meaning समझ में आ रहा है. And there are going to be 3 sentences which will use this word in a similar way. And the one that is the odd one out will be your answer. Okay? Now, will this work every time? Yes, almost 80 to 90% every time. Sometimes, however, there can be some exceptions, but then by and large, this is going to work. So let's have a look at this. When it is not toothache, the callus protects the foot from damage. Something related to the foot. मतलब नहीं पता मुझको. Okay. A buildup of the callus is one of the most common causes of discomfort. So callus, apparently, ये 2 sentences पढ़ के समझ में आया, has got something to do with the foot, with the hardened skin or whatever. We're not very sure yet. He received 50 lashes on his feet delivered with callous instruments. This looks very different. This looks odd. Let's even read the last one. The doctor examined the callus but neglected to treat it. So now we know for sure that sentence A, B, and D use the word in the same way. Whereas option C uses it very differently. They're saying callous indifference. Okay, so C has to be the answer. And my dear friends, this is the right answer. Without knowing the word, I could crack this. By the way, let me tell you one very interesting thing. What is callus? Callus is like a corn or a very thick skin that develops, okay, especially on your foot or areas where, there's a lot of pressure on the skin. So obviously, it's a kind of a disease. It's a skin imperfection. And A, B, and D talk about that. Now, what is wrong with C? C is saying with callous indifference, he was given 50 lashes on his feet. He was beaten up or given lashes. Now the idea is what word that should have come here? The word was callous. Callous is when you are insensitive to someone, when you are apathetic. Now, this is extra gyan that I'm giving you. And the reason is very clear. I actually want to teach you, and ideally you should know. But then if you don't know, what do you do? अगर एग्जाम में ऐसी कोई चीज आती है तो हम क्या करेंगे? ऑफ कोर्स जाने तो नहीं देंगे क्वेश्चन को, कुछ ना कुछ जुगाड़ लगा के आंसर जरूर निकालेंगे, राइट? सो दिस इज द करेक्ट मीनिंग ऑफ callous. Here we should have the word callous. Is this much clear? Ready for another one? Similar one? Let's dive in. Same kind of a question, same approach. Let's practice so that we get better at it. He used a fan to diffuse the smoke that had accumulated in the kitchen. Okay, fine. Even if I don't know the word diffuse, the meaning of the word diffuse, pata hi hoga वैसे तो. But even if you don't know, that's absolutely fine. Follow my hack, follow this technique, and I'm sure you will benefit from it. Every morning, the aroma of freshly baked bread diffuses throughout the house. What is happening here? Smoke is being diffused with the fan. Here, the aroma of the bread is diffusing. That means diffuse has got something to do with spreading. If you're good with finding the contextual meaning of the words, you will definitely score well in these question types. Okay. Realizing that the argument between the two groups of students was getting out of control, the teacher diffused the situation, quickly changing the topic. कुछ अजीब लग रहा है, looks a little odd. Why does this look odd? Because you cannot spread or scatter a situation. Fine, so this has been used incorrectly. Probably this will be the answer. Let's check. The stained glass diffuse the light filtering through the windows again. This is scattering the light. Okay, जो glass के through, prism के through diffusion होता है. So we can clearly see A, B, and D are used in the same way. C is the odd one. So C is going to be the answer. Now, by the way, even if you don't know what was supposed to be the right word in C, let me tell you about it. The right word had to be diffuse. Actually, the examiner wanted to check this, right? उनको यही check करना था कि do you know the difference between diffuse and diffuse? So coming to this diffuse, this means making a situation less tense or less dangerous. That's what the teacher precisely did. When two groups of students were into a fight, the teacher controlled the situation, diffused the situation. And to diffuse is to spread or scatter around. Right? Good. So let's now move to another question. Now this is a different question type from IPMAT 2023. Again, if you don't know a word, that's absolutely fine. You still have a chance. You can be smart, you can be tactful, you can be resourceful, and you can do something or the other out of it. So this is what is precisely happening here. इसमें आपको करना क्या है? इस sentence में word दिया हुआ है. You have to guess the synonym of the word. Now, if a word is given to you directly without being used in a sentence, then it's very difficult to guess the meaning of the word, right? Let alone find the synonyms. But here the advantage is ऐसे questions आपको छोड़ने ही नहीं चाहिए. Sentence में आप guess करके identify कर सकते हो उसका meaning. The attorney wanted to expedite the process because her client was becoming impatient. Now I only understand that expedite the process. Client is getting impatient. अब जब वो impatient हो रहा है, बेचैन हो रहा है, तो process को हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा? Speed up करना पड़ेगा, right? So obviously, accelerate. To accelerate a vehicle, accelerate is to increase your speed. This looks good. Cannot be anything else. I quickly understand, okay, client is getting impatient, so we have to speed up the process. Speed up, accelerate is the best choice. I don't have to think about other options and waste my time unnecessarily. So following these tricks, you definitely become more accurate. You're able to increase your number of attempts, thereby score more marks, right? And at the same time, you do it smartly. You become more efficient, right? Let's try out a similar question from JIPMAT. A similar question. Mr. Powers was so gullible that he believed even the most outlandish excuses of his insincere employees. Okay, so let's assume that you don't know the meaning of the word gullible, right? And secondly, you don't even know what do you mean by outlandish. That's absolutely fine. You understand something out of it still. You know insincere employees. You understand that much at least, right? You understand believe. तो पढ़ के आपको ये समझ में आता है कि मिस्टर पॉवल्स इतने गलेबल थे कि he even believed the excuses given by his insincere employees, right? क्या हो सकता है गलेबल? आप एक्सक्यूजेस इजीली बाय कर रहे हैं, वो एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हैं, इनसिंसियर एम्प्लॉइज के एक्सक्यूजेस मान लेते हैं, तो उसका क्या मतलब होता है? दैट दिस पर्सन इज व्हाट? आई डोंट नो दिस वर्ड. व्हाट इज दिस? आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड. इमेजिन मुझे ये भी नहीं पता. इंटेलिजेंट तो नहीं हो सकते, डिसऑनेस्ट भी नहीं हो सकते, क्रिटिकल भी नहीं हो सकते. By elimination and smartly sifting through the different choices that I have, I can definitely decide that B beta is going to be the best choice. Yes. So I hope I'm perfectly audible. And now coming back to it, see, dishonest is a negative word. We don't want anything negative like this. बेईमान इतना तो सबको पता होता है, right? Critical भी सबको पता होता है. So naive is the only word that we don't know. And so we could very easily eliminate other choices. And finally we come to B beta as the right answer. That's it. Being slightly smart will help you get the right answers. ऐसे questions जो आप शायद छोड़ देते, but now you will have the courage, now you will have the stratagem to actually try such questions as well. Let's practice a bit more. Since these are the latest questions from IPMAT in 2024, I really wanted to give you guys a feel of it. I want you to practice this. This time I'm stepping aside. You have to try these questions on your own. Come on, class, let's do it. Let's see if these techniques are working for you. Pause the video and try this question. Yes? So done with it? You have to follow the same approach, the odd sentence out one approach. The odd one out approach is going to help you here as well, right? The rules of the organization proscribes members from conflicts of interest. ठीक है, क्या होता है proscribe? Imagine we don't know, नहीं पता. The coach proscribes late night parties before an important game. So what's happening here? All right, we can understand, and let's read the remaining sentences also so that we are very clear about the word proscribe. The company's policy proscribes employees from disclosing confidential information to unauthorized individuals. तीनों sentences में एक commonality हो रही है. And what is that? All three of them are using this word proscribe, which suggests that it means something like forbidding. ठीक है, किसी को फॉरबिड करना या प्रोहिबिट करना, रोक रहे हैं ये इसको, है ना? ऑर्गेनाइजेशन रूल्स जो है वो आपको रोकते हैं कि भैया यू डोंट एंगेज इन कॉन्फ्लिक्ट. कोच भी आपको स्टॉप कर रहा है फ्रॉम अटेंडिंग लेट नाइट पार्टीज. Company's policy is also stopping you, prohibiting you, forbidding you from disclosing confidential information. So obviously the last one has to be the answer, and let us read that. The software manual proscribes step-by-step instructions for installing and configuring the program. No, it cannot be D. The D sentence is incorrect usage, and hence it has to be the right answer. Probably what they're trying to use here. यहाँ पे वो क्या बताना चाहते हैं आपको? Prescribe बोलना चाहते हैं. Okay. Prescribe should be the last word here. Yes? So proscribe, what does proscribe mean? To prohibit or to forbid. And prescribe is to recommend. Here we are talking of a manual which has step-by-step instructions. Right? So your answer is D, delta. And finally, we come to the last one so that we can actually perfect ourselves, right? We can hone this technique that we have just learned. Quickly try this out, students. Come on. Done? I think this was very easy. All right. The musician would hear a chord in his head and play each note individually. Teenagers may feel the need to cut the umbilical cord, tying them to their homes. To keep the key safe, he wore it on a cord around her neck. He purchased a cord of wood from the market. So here, cord might be confusing you a bit. What do you think? See, ये जो सारे chord है ना, ये तीनों B, C and D are using it somewhat like in the form of a string. कोई डोरी की तरह, है ना? Cord around your neck, right? Cord that's tying you to your homes. And we all know what is umbilical cord, right? When a baby is born, the baby is attached to the mother's organs through an umbilical cord, right? Okay. And a cord of wood. So here again, we're talking about some string or some kind of a structure. Okay. Now, coming to A. A is very different. Odd one out strategy लगा दो, हो गया तुम्हारा answer. What is A talking about? Musician would hear a chord in his head. Is it in the form of a string or something? No, not here. So this is the odd word out, and A is going to be your answer. And by the way, what is this? Do you understand? And this chord is the musical chord. ये म्यूजिक वाले chords हैं जो पियानो में वो chords play करते हैं. So this is very different. This was incorrectly used here. So this is the answer. All right, students. So how did you find the session? All right, if you learned something, I am going to feel that, okay, fine, I could contribute. This is a smart way of attempting things. Sometimes students get daunted or intimidated by merely looking at a question. They're feeling that they don't know the word, and so they don't even attempt it. They don't even sometimes read it. So here with this technique, I am sure you can attempt more number of questions, and that too with the right approach and strategy, you will do it with full accuracy. All right. So students, you can join our Telegram channel so that you get some amazing notes. And there is a treatise, there's a wealth of knowledge here, and so many inputs you get all for free. So make sure that you join our Telegram channel. And finally, thank you. That's all for today. Bye-bye. Catch you again.